Yo, what up? Welcome back to Red Zone in the Lab podcast. That's RITL, also pronounced Riddle. And you know I am Deuce. That's DEUCE. And it is Raiders week. We got the black hole in the building. We're going to talk about some Commanders. We're going to learn about who the Raiders really are. I know a lot of us watched them on Monday night, but I'm telling you, there's more to it than what we've seen. We got my man Rundown from Raider Rundown podcast host is in the building to chop it up with us about the Raiders. We're going to talk about our Commanders a little bit on the other side of that. Let's get to it, man. It's up. Yes, sir.
I didn't make it true, playing by the rules. I come apart, but never cool. I didn't make it true, playing by the rules. I come apart, but never cool.
Man, we've been waiting a long time for this, baby. Red Zone in the Lab. Commanders. It's time. Let's get it, homie. Yo, what up? Like I said, welcome back to another episode. It's a lot to talk about today. It's some stuff that we're gonna have to talk about on the other side of our interview or rundown. 'Cause, man, look, it's a lot of things I'm hearing out there in them Twitter streets that I ain't, you know what I'm saying, I don't like. It's a whole lot of tabloid talk out there on the streets, man. But let's go ahead and let's bring our man Rundown in the building. So I can get him up here. Let me see. I got to in the small screen. We want to have my man in the small screen. There we go. Rundown. What's good, man? How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling excellent, man. You know, I appreciate you, like I said, for letting me be a guest on this show, man. Always good to talk ball, like I said, man, and you know, just talk to some like-minded individuals. So I'm feeling good, man. You know, hopefully after the game, I'm feeling better. But either way, man, we good.
Yeah, for sure, man. My man Chuck is in the building. My man Trail's in the building. For y'all there, make sure y'all go check out Fandom Has No Intelligence. That was a great episode. They just wrapped up on the channel, man. So go back, check that out. Yo, what's up, Peace Craft? So Rundown. So like, are you a fan that's like, what was your, how did you feel about the move, right, from Oakland to Vegas? Let's start right there.
Honestly, well, see, I've been a fan my whole life, right? I've been a fan my whole life. Shout out my guy Chris in the chat too, man. Protect the shield, that's my guy.
Right.
But yeah, so I've been a fan my whole life, man. So I was going to Oakland games since like when I was like 5 to all the way to 15. So it was like a good 10 something years. I'm going to Oakland, and of course it had that mystique. But I'm not from Oakland. I'm from SoCal, right? So I'm a Los Angeles Raider. So we love Oakland, but at the end of the day, you know, we all got ties to the LA Raiders. And I understood it because at the end of the day, bro, like if you ever been to the Coliseum, it has this mystique. But yeah, hey man, we pissing in troughs in there, man. It's bad. It's bad at O.co, bro. We had no bread. The field was bad, seats was bad. It's like you understand the move because we had to get bread. And now you look, I think we top 10 in organizations or whatever the case. Yeah, so I understood it from that point. So we can start getting more bread in here, get the organization where it's supposed to be, man.
For sure. When it comes to like the fan base, right? And I know like, you know, you're okay with it. I'm sure some others. I've been to the stadium. I took a tour. I think the stadium is awesome.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. The inside remind me. I don't know if you're a Power fan.
Oh
but,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like the little club in there absolutely reminded me of Power. Like when you walk up, because I kind of walked up to the front and I was able to overlook everything. I said,
Yeah.
Cool. the retractable field and all that. Because like as you know, we just got approved, or you got approved
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
the new stadium. So of course we looking at all the best ones to try to see how us as fans can put together the right edifice for us to go in there and play ball. But like, how do you like the stadium? How is the atmosphere as far as like? Because I know it's a section that y'all move out, but y'all bring it in for the black hole, right? So they still
Exactly.
have their little section. I think that meant a lot to them folks. So is the atmosphere still the same, or is it Vegas esque?
It depends. Like so when you listen to the media, right? It's like, oh, they don't have a home crowd, they don't have this, they don't have that. But the reality of the situation is, bro, we ain't been winning. So it's like, you know what I mean? Just like any other
Yeah,
team, if your team ain't winning, it's like we're not really going. Case in point, I mean, but even though we lost on Monday night, we was in there thick. You know what I mean? We was in there thick. When we the fan base is still ravenous, man. And I always believe we start winning, man, you're gonna see us anywhere. Like it don't matter.
yeah, for
Raider
sure.
Nation is one of those fan bases. Like we travel and we loud. So
Yeah,
you
because I
know what
think
I
I got
mean?
like 35% of our tickets for this week.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
case in point right there, you know what I mean? We travel. You know, we gonna make our noise heard. So as far as the fan base and the feel of it, you're gonna get the feel of it. Now it's not, you know what I mean, it's not as rowdy as Oakland is. Like I know you say you've been to Oakland, so
yeah,
walking
yeah,
in there, you know, the tailgate that they blowing something in the air, you know what I mean? Drinks
yeah,
everywhere, type of it.
yeah.
It ain't like that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that is a little bit gone. But as far as the fan base loving the team, all that extra, it's still ravenous like that.
All right, Pete Carroll.
Yeah, that's my guy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I
Yeah,
like Pete. I like these now. So far, he been making some moves. I ain't gonna, and I know we'll talk about. He been making some moves that it made me be like, all right, dog. Like, what are we doing? But
yeah,
either way, he one of them coaches I felt we needed. You know what I mean? We needed
yeah.
somebody to give us a little therapy, man. He a therapy coach to me. After everything we done been through with AP, Josh
Hmm.
McDaniels, all the extra, he was a little stabilizing figure for us.
For sure. And that's good having somebody like him, right? The
Right.
repertoire, the history, the respect that he has, like all of that. And then you got the other guy, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got the GOAT is in the building too. Like, even you got some little stuff coming out, like he did our game week one, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if
Uh
he got some info on that, you know what I'm saying?
huh.
But nah, though, like how has his like, and he's a minority owner, right? And we
Right.
have a public figure like that in Magic Johnson, right? But Magic Johnson is a basketball guy, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
he's not a football guy. So when you kind of comparing to, you will compare them to as being, both of them are minority owners, and both of them are considered one of the best at their sports that they've played. So how do you like? How has his presence? Because we heard what Chip said, or what they reported Chip said about he's always going to him every week or whatever. So it seems like you see him out on the field training, like he's doing all the minority owner stuff that you would usually see. May
Yeah.
do it a little bit more because he's Tom Brady, but not so much the business side, but the football side. What are you all hearing? What are you all seeing? Like, how is he contributing to the football side?
To the football
Besides like
side.
personnel moves and all that stuff.
Yeah, I would say, it's more he's a avenue for, let's say, Gino, for the coaches to speak to about, maybe the games, and maybe a little bit of direction going forward. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
think his thing is he wants to put a stamp on the organization because we've been so bad so long. So he's not he I know Brady, he's not going to stand for being attached to something that's losing. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I know everybody, has their speculation of what he's doing. I know personally my corner of things and my people side of Raider things, we kind of understand this year is like a feeling out year for him. We like everybody got this is like his rookie year. You know what I mean?
Right,
He's
right, right,
never
right.
this is his first year doing this too. So you know what I mean? Same thing. We watched the Colts owner. She has her headset on. He's kind of doing the same thing. He's learning the ins and
Mhm.
outs right now. What's going on? And I expect him to have even bigger stamp football operationally going into this next year, because I think right now he's just getting his feet wet and he's just trying to understand what he can and cannot do. And then going into this next year, I think he'll have more of a stamp as personnel, movement wise, you know what I mean? Who we bring in, who we don't bring in, things of that nature.
Yeah. All right. So the draft, right? So last year the prize was Brock Bowers, right?
Uh-huh.
He came out there, balled out. I mean,
Animal,
straight
yeah.
balled out. Like as far as us for like rookie of the year, we like our fan, we wasn't really worried about Bo Nix, right? Like we understood the analytics, we understood right his air yards, we understood his yak, which was kind of inflating a lot of his. Our concern was like, well, see, we got an eye on Brock Bowers. Let's see what he's doing out there because he's putting up crazy numbers
Right.
as a tight end, wide receiver, whatever it is you want to call him. He's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
But what was your first reaction to him being picked after the year prior? You got Michael Mayer, which was also one of the best tight ends coming out of that draft class. What was your
Yep.
thought going right back to Brock Bowers?
Most people, as myself, I questioned it. I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Tight end,
Yeah.
which what I mean. After
Hold
you
on, right
watch his
quick, man.
film,
I got a
oh, go
little
ahead, bro. Do
super
your thing.
chat. Thanks, Trail.
Bye.
Super
Bye.
chat, baby.
That's
Appreciate you, homie.
fine.
Yeah, but go ahead, man.
Nah. Hey, that's fine, by the way. But yeah, questioned it. We like, all right, well, what are we doing? But going into it though, of course, you watch his film, you like, okay, I understand what we seeing. I definitely understand it. But it didn't take long. I mean, it took one game for real. It took really week 2. We played Baltimore last year. Week 2 after that, we were like, yeah, we got one. I ain't gonna lie. We were all, we got Raider PTSD as a fan base when it comes to our first round picks. But yeah, after that week 2, we were like, yeah, we got one.
Yeah, for sure. And then like you come right back. So like after picking a tight end the year before, you come right back in the first round and you pick another position that when you look at history, it takes a while to develop, right? Unless he one of the ones, right? And then you come right back to another position, which I think that position is starting to reestablish itself right back in the NFL because I think you know the while the defense is trying to catch up with the offense getting smaller, now the offense is starting to get bigger again, which is going to bring back more power football while the offense is small, and then it'll just keep going over and over and over. And so, but you get the 6th pick and you go grab Ashton Genty. What's the reaction to the fan base with that pick?
Oh, everybody's excited. You know what I mean? If you look at the draft party, everybody's throwing stuff around. You know what I mean? We all happy. Me personally, I didn't think that was the move we should have did for a number of reasons. But I mean, he's here now, so it's like it's different. But majority fan base, everybody was happy. You know what I mean? Because our running game was putrid last year, so it's like we needed one. We just got rid of a Pro Bowl running back too, so obviously the void was there. So everybody was of course, super happy about it.
All right, so you pick up Geno Smith
in
the offseason. He follows Pete Carroll. The offseason is gone through. The draft, you're going into training camp. We at the 53-man roster. Are you okay with what you've seen so far in the offseason all the way through up to the original 53? Is this a roster, not so much that you want it, but is this a roster that you think you can compete with?
I think being competitive and compete, yeah. As far as now, if you're talking about upper echelon AFC teams, we're not there yet. We still got some room to grow. But as far as being competitive, as far as actually, you know what I mean, taking care of business and doing what we're supposed to do in certain games, I feel like we'll be better this year than we've been. So to answer that, yeah, I'm not, but I do understand that it's year 1 of Pete Carroll and our GM. So it's like I understand that there are holes that they ain't gonna be able to securely fix year 1. I know what time it is. So we won 4 games last year. So I'm definitely expecting better than 4. So anything better than that, I'm already on.
He'll take it, yeah, for sure. All right, let's get into this roster. Let's get into our game. Week 1, week 2 pass. You get a nationally televised game. Everyone gets to watch. After 2 games, what are some surprises? What are some letdowns? And are they where you would that are, as the offense and defense special teams where you would want them to be going into week 3?
Right now for me, let's start with the good surprise is the defense.
Yeah.
Most Raider fans, including myself, I ain't have too high hopes for the defense. You know what I mean? I'm kind of
Okay.
expecting us to be Swiss cheese a little bit, but over these last 2 games, we've been kind of stout, man.
Yeah.
I think opponents have only scored 6 points against our defense in second halves in both of these games. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Patriots only scored 3, Chargers only scored 3. Um, and we've been pretty stout, causing turnovers as well, getting our hands on the ball. So that's been a welcome surprise to me, seeing how stout they've been. I knew we were going to be good against the run, but being pretty sound in pass coverage when we can be, that's something that surprised me going into here. As far as the offense, I think we're in a state right now that we got to, like, Geno's new, Chip is new, and we trying to understand the balance of what each other wants and needs right now. I think
Hmm.
that's what's going on. First game we was airing it all over the field. You know what I mean? Airing it out
Hmm.
all over the field against New England. But then come the second week, that's not what the game permitted. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And Geno kind of didn't quite tone down his aggressiveness like need be. So in that frame, it's like, all right, we need to learn when the aggressiveness can and cannot happen. You know what I mean? Um, uh, that
Yeah, I
that
got, I got some questions about his usage. It's coming up. It's
oh,
coming up.
trust me. When it comes to him, bro, I'm brutally honest. I call myself a running back connoisseur for sure. So when it comes to him, it's that he leaves no room for doubt for me. But as far as the offense, they still getting their rhythm. I think it is right now. I won't say a surprise, but it's kind of like I knew it was gonna happen. Like, the offensive line ain't that great run blocking wise. They're
Hmm.
just not, and they weren't that great run blocking wise last year.
Okay.
And that was kind of my problem with the whole draft scenario, which is like I wouldn't take this running back right now. With our O line is not that good run
Hmm.
blocking. So that's something that we definitely need to clean up. You know what I mean? They're probably gonna try to look to do that this week, but yeah, that's been ugly so far. Special teams is where we go. Personally think we have the best punter in the league. Kicker's pretty cool. He's kind of inconsistent outside of 50, but other than that, he's pretty steady. But other than that, we have the best punter in the league, so we're gonna flip field position and do that. So I think that helps with our defense too. So, been kind of welcoming over this past couple weeks.
All right, let's start over there on defense. Of course, right? You have one of my favorite players in the league, top 5 for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Always I call him the program.
Yep.
I was over there while I was watching in the off season, seeing what he's saying, watching what he doing, what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. He's one of the guys that I absolutely would have wanted if the opportunity presents itself. And Max Crosby is just like it's just his energy, what he gives you, his story. It's like all of that wrapped up in one. And he just
Mm-hmm.
remind me of which come off the program. So that's one of my favorite football movies. But when it comes to the defense, you have one of our guys in Jeremy Chin, which a lot of people call him the revenge game. Like, bro, he was here 1 year. It's not a revenge game.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what
yeah. I
I'm
don't
saying?
know
Like,
about all that.
I ain't, what I'm saying? Caillou Blue Kelly was one of the guys that was on our team. I think it was a couple years ago. He was
Okay, okay.
undrafted. Like, he didn't get a lot of burn, whatever, but obviously he's over there
Right.
at cornerback one. So I do want to ask you about those two because that's our two players that we are familiar with. Like, we could start with Chin. What is he giving you? Is he giving you what's expected, or is it something that you want a little bit more?
He actually, for me, he's giving me what I expected. Now they had him kind of playing in the slot a little bit,
Oh,
training camp and all the extra, and then he got into week 1 and he kind of got cooked a little bit, and they quickly stopped that. So they was like, yeah, that's not gonna work. But playing what he actually is supposed to be playing, you know what I mean, round the box, up on these tight ends a little bit. He's sticky, you know what I mean. He's one of the reasons why we're able to be a little bit better in the middle of the field. Yeah, he had a nice little pass breakup the other night.
yeah. Mhm.
That he was doing his thing. He's great in run defense. He's doing his thing in run defense. So love Chin. I love that we had a player we replaced Chin with Chin. So he's doing his thing. As far as Blue Kelly, he's actually one of the bigger surprises of the defense. He's been
Mm-hmm.
balling. These first 2 weeks, man, he has actually been balling. Every time he's needed in man coverage, he's sticky. Zone coverage, he had a little lapse the other day, so that's not his biggest strong suit.
Mm-hmm.
But when we ask him to press up, like how Pete likes, and we ask him to get physical and things of that nature, man, he's been real aggressive. He actually been balling, man. So I got to give him his love, because when he first got in, we were kind of scared a little bit. We was a little scared because we didn't know what to expect from him. But he been doing his thing.
Yeah, for sure. And those are absolutely great stories. When it comes to that defense, outside of the guys we know, and it looked like Jamal Adams is
Mm-hmm.
finally,
Mm-hmm.
humbled himself to understand he's not that guy anymore. What I mean, he looks like he played pretty well. It looks like he's in on packages, but I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure. Just by watching the tape, looks like he's in on packages. What is he giving? Because at one point he's one of the best blitzing players in the league, but I know that was
Yeah.
a time ago. What is
Uh-huh.
it that he's giving you?
Funny enough, man, all the veteran players that we kind of signed are actually on the low balling, especially on defense. Um,
Okay.
he for him, he's doing that exact thing, right? We when we bring him in, he's rushing the passer, he's
Mm-hmm.
blitzing.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he's in on rundowns, doing what he's supposed to do, and we don't have him playing too much deep coverage, like at all, really.
Mm-hmm.
He's really a linebacker, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
our
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah,
really a
yeah.
linebacker,
Most definitely.
and I think they've already on our depth chart, he's categorized as a linebacker too, if I'm not mistaken. So
Mm-hmm.
they full force went into that. That's what
Yeah.
you are. You're playing into the box, and it served
Yeah.
him well, man. It has served him very well. Our linebacker unit is honestly the strongest unit of the defense. To be honest
Okay.
with you, so we have a lot of different skill sets, and they all complement each other very well in there. But as far as Jamal Adams, he's been doing his thing when called upon, man. So he don't play all the time, but like you said, he's in packages, and when he does come in, he's a guy you kind of look at. You got to kind of look out for, because you don't know what he's doing. You know what I mean? You don't know where he's roaming. So they've been using him pretty well.
And they're not a ton of outside the ones I've mentioned and some of the ones that we're familiar with as a fan base. It's not like a lot of living room names on that defense, right? So just give us some players on that we might not know,
Got you.
that are contributors and people that some players that we need to look out for.
So as far as the defense, man, Jermaine Pratt, that's one.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
we know
Jermaine
we know
Pratt
him.
Jermaine Pratt is the guy,
But
man.
how old is he now?
He's like 29 or
He's
something.
29. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's
It just
29.
seems like
Maybe
he's
like
with the Bengals forever.
yeah, for sure. And
It
that's what
seems
I
like
thought.
he's with them forever.
I thought he was
Yeah,
damn near Bobby Wagner age. I'm like, all right,
yeah,
bro, like what are we doing? But he came in, he looking pretty spry, man. He coming in, he doing his thing. Funny enough, man, Devin White is another one where he's actually
yeah,
been coming in and balling, and I definitely question that one. I was like, all
yeah,
right, dog, like what? I ain't seen Devin White be good since Tampa. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And then
I
he came
understand.
in, he
He's a
been doing
Super
his
Bowl
thing.
now.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. But as far as let's go D line names, right? That have been balling. I know, I've kind of been watching y'all past a little couple weeks. Y'all O line. I know you just made a change, but
Yeah.
the O line's been a little shaky. In
Mm-hmm.
the interior, we traded for that Thomas Booker. Now he's not, anybody that y'all like Dexter Lawrence or anything like that, but
Yeah.
he is somebody that gets penetration. He got a quick first step. You know what I mean? He's one of those setup D linemen. You know what I mean? He sets everybody else up for the sack. And his penetration is quick. So he's one of those guys that's probably gonna make some plays. You'll see him splash a little bit as far as penetration in there. Looking around, man. Look, now my guy had a tough and rough week last week. But Isaiah Palomal, our safety number 20, he had a rough week last week. But usually he's around the football a lot. Usually, and that's number 20. So he's our safety opposite of Chin. He's usually around the football when he's on. So if he's on this week, expect him, be around. If there's an errant throw, something like that, he's usually one of those guys that's just, he just got that
Always
innate
around the
ability to
football.
be around there. So that's one of my guys right there that I'd look for as well.
What are some things that that's like a weakness for the defense? Is it run? Is it pass? Is it screens? Is it seam stuff? Is it outside the numbers?
Yeah.
What are some weaknesses?
You can now you can get us in the middle of the field. We can be had. Now I like Jermaine Pratt himself in coverage. He's nice. But we got Elandon Roberts, we got Devin White. Them themselves, they're not super strong in coverage. Um our real weakness, honestly, is that it's like as good as we are as a D line and run defense right now in pass rush, it's Max Crosby in the gang. Like that's it. So if you're doubling Max and you're doing all that, so far nobody else has shown the consistent ability to win on the other side. We was hoping for Tyree Wilson. That seems like that's not gonna work out. We did have Christian Wilkins for a time, but that ended up falling through. So we haven't really replaced that talent there. So right now, if time is created for Mariota, it's gonna be a little portion where he'll be able to find some people open in the middle of the field and things like that. Because if Max Crosby not getting back there, quarterback has some time right now.
And strengths. And I know you said Crosby, the pass rush, but like, what about the run defense? Like press corners. What type of defense you run?
That's our strong suit. We, as far as right now, I haven't seen a running back really get off on us, honestly, at all. We didn't face Travion Henderson. We didn't face Omarion Hampton. Two good backs. We're gonna face another one. I like Bill. I like me some Bill. But as far as that. Now, Max Crosby's getting double teamed in the pass rush, but if you look at all the numbers and where teams are running, they do not run to his side at all. And even in that, he's still getting tackles for loss, things of that nature. So against the run, we're nasty. We are nasty against that. I expect us to carry that over going into here, try to make y'all one-dimensional, of course. When our defensive coordinator, you might be familiar because we got Patrick Graham, right? He was with Giants for a time. So when PG decides to be aggressive, our corners are nice, right? When we press up, that's Blue Kelly's strength. Eric Stokes, that's his strength, right? They like to press up. But PG has this tendency to get soft in his coverage at times, where he likes to play these corners 15 yards back. And that's when teams start dinking and dunking us down the field. And now all of a sudden we got to try to play this, you know what I mean? Bend but don't break defense. Yeah. So that would be when we get into that zone, we're kind of weak there. We have lapses in communication right now. We're not that strong. But when we're aggressive, that's when we're better. That's when we're 100% better.
Yeah. All right, let's flip to the offensive side of the ball. How much do you trust Geno Smith?
Out of 5, I say I'm at like at 3.5. I'm at a 3.5. I do trust him to bounce back from that last game. I know last game was ugly, but again, I know he learning the offense with Chip. And if I know you haven't kind of read a lot of Raider stuff, but a lot of Raider people, if you reading what Geno's mindset has been this whole training camp, it's like I'm gonna show you type of mindset.
Oh,
this is my team. You know what I mean? Like this is my team type of mindset. So that's. You can see it carry over in these first 2 games. You know what I mean? He's throwing that thing, he's slinging it downfield. But usually Geno's completion percentage is around 70-something%. It's around there. So usually he's not somebody that's throwing hella turnovers all the time. Now, he might throw one that has you scratching your head and you like, what the hell are you doing? But, other than that, he's going to take care of the football. I have confidence he's going to bounce back, man. I think he's going to do what he's supposed to do, especially if he just takes care of the football. I think we'll be all right. Now, this is the thing. Right now, he's playing a lot of that risk reward. He came here, he said, he want to run the table. Well, we ain't got to try to, shoot dice and crap out all the goddamn time. You know what I mean? Like, he can relax, dog. Like, sometimes it's all right to chill.
He has a redemption story. And guys that have redemption stories, they want to get out in front. Like
I get that. You know what I mean? And I totally get it because he's trying to have his Baker Mayfield. He's trying to have his all that, which I totally won't. I want him to do that. But at the same time, let's be smart with it, dog. Like there are times where we don't need to air it out. You know what I mean? 60 yards downfield all the time. And that's what he was doing against the Chargers. The game dictated we needed to have a nice little drive, methodically move down the field. He was just being greedy, on Monday night. That was that result. And on Sunday against the Patriots, it worked. You know what I mean? Everybody was praising him. He had
Yeah.
362, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, we got a quarterback." But see, that's the risk reward. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like if he learns to tote that line, we're gonna be straight.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Russ. Russ is
Yeah,
doing the
yeah,
same thing
exactly,
too.
exactly.
Yeah. So I know we heard some stories with Myers through the off season.
Mm-hmm.
The kid Thornton is someone that I'm definitely going to make sure I'm watching to see where he's lined up
Mm-hmm.
on the offense. But when it comes to these receivers, like how do they line up with these? Is it just like a complementary type group, or is one stands out possession guy? Tell us a little bit about the wide receivers.
Now, of course, Jacoby Myers. He's steady. You know what I mean? Now I know your number one corner is Marshawn Lattimore. See
Yeah.
that's a matchup. Well, who would you say your number one corner is right now?
It depends who you talk to, man. Like if we look at because like no one moves, right? Marshawn is not that guy anymore. Like we tried that last year.
Right.
We understood he's not that guy anymore, right? So we have the young rookie Trey Amos, who's
Okay.
really looking the part, right? And you know about Mikey, but he's adjusting back to the slot now because of Trey Amos. So
Right.
he's got a little adjustment period that he's dealing with. And then you have Marshawn. See, like Marshawn to our fan base is a string. I call him Stringer Bell. That's who he is to our fan base, right? Like he's Stringer Bell, right? You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta. So it's really not like no one is going to travel, right? So wherever they line up,
Okay.
who's there, who's going to be covering them. If we're in man, like we're hoping that we adjust because the man motion, the jet right off the line of scrimmage just wasn't working for us because we wasn't switching. We don't know why. We did start switching, but it was too late, right? See, like
Uh-huh.
Trail, he loves Amos, right? So like, and it's just it's a thing, right? Because I don't look at it as a number one, number two, because neither one of them travels, right? It's just almost
Okay.
like,
Right.
but yeah, so like he's going to match up with both of them.
Okay. So number one, hearing Trey Amos is playing well kind of pisses me off as a Raider fan for a number of reasons. I was heavy on him in the draft process, and the corner we took ain't even sniffing grass right now. So that's annoying. But see, this is the thing. Against Marshawn Lattimore, I like Jacoby Myers. I really do. I think that's not a great matchup for Marshawn Lattimore. To be honest, I don't think Trey Tucker's a good matchup for Lattimore either. See, and we can
the
scheme
speed.
that. Yeah, the
What
speed.
about
Now
route?
Trey Tucker's not the biggest guy. You know what I mean? He's not our big guy. He's like 5'11", 6 feet, damn near. You know what I mean? So he's not big, but motherfucker runs a 4.3. You know what I mean? He won it for, and it's legit. So guys like that, I usually notice Lattimore kind of struggle with a little bit. Now Thornton runs that 4.3, but he's bigger. You know what I mean? He got a bigger body, so you might be able to get on him physically. You know what I mean? And kind of get in him. But that's more of a matchup I would think y'all will want Trey Amos on as far as Thornton. That seems like more a better matchup for Amos. Knowing Chip Kelly and hearing what you're saying, if they don't travel, then we're going to try to scheme it up to say this receiver's primarily going to be over here, so we can get this matchup over here. Now, really, what we do, we're running the Chiefs method. You know what I mean? Like we have a whole bunch of receivers; they're cool, and really, like our fan base is actually kind of pissed off right now, to be honest with you, because our second round pick ain't sniffed grass at all in 2 games. Right. And we drafted Jack Besh, and there's been some opportunity where I feel like he could have got in. I don't know what's going on there, but
yeah, because like TCU kid, right?
Right.
So I think I was kind of surprised when y'all took him, right? So like I don't know, like and sometimes like the tape is the tape, right? Like,
right. Now, see, he is like how you just talked about with the corners. It depends in the nation who you ask, right? Like if you ask me, I feel like he needs to get on out there. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like he needs to get out there. If you ask, like some of my boys in the chat, they like he's dumpster juice. So it goes both ways. But we running the Chiefs method, bro. Like our number one target is 89, dog. It don't matter what it is. When Geno dropped back, he looking for Bowers. And everybody else is complementary pieces outside of that. That's really what it is. But as far as our number, quote unquote, number one guy receiver, it's Jacoby. It's definitely Jacoby, and they scheme him up in the slot. He goes in the slot a lot, and he goes outside as well. So he'll be moved around a ton depending on the matchup. I like Sanders still for sure though.
Yeah. So like, how is Bowers in that knee? I mean, he still looked good even Monday with the
Yeah.
knee, right? Like, but I mean, it that can have a plus minus too, right? Like, it can
Mm-hmm.
actually gotten worse or whatever because you're playing on it. But how has he looked during this week in practice?
Yeah. Kind of the coaches kind of confirmed it this week to the chagrin of most fans, but I understand it. They kind of load managed him last week. They load
Mhm.
managed Brock Bowers a little bit in that first half of that game, where Michael Mayer played a little bit more, and you can tell they weren't really putting him in a lot of situations. He only had one catch in the first
Mhm.
half. Until if you watch the tape in the second half, the coach was like, "Okay, goddamn it, we got to give him the ball." Like, what I mean, we're losing. We got to go to somebody. So that's when they was like, "Okay, cool." I really think he could have did more last week, but I think the coaches were kind of chilling because they saw what Tucker Craft did against, y'all week 2. And I think they were like, all right, nah, we're gonna get this game in week 3 and let him have a bigger role week 3. So I think,
Mhm.
he's fully healthy. I just saw him at practice the other day. He's moving fine. So he's good to go for Sunday.
Yeah. And you say the offense kind of like feeds off of Brock Bowers. So because I mean even watching that game, it does seem like he looks to Brock, but he comes off him a little
Mm-hmm.
quick. But maybe that's because of the injury, and maybe it was just like a look off or decoy type thing,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it's probably going to look a little different Sunday for sure. But like, what else is it if Brock Bowers is bracketed? Does that fluster Gino? I know it's only been going into the second game for sure. I
Right.
understand that, but like, how does the offense work if that's the case?
Well, we have a simple, it's a sample size, you know what I mean? And that's why
Yeah,
week 3 will tell Raider fans a lot, because week 1, of course, you saw Brock healthy.
yeah,
And that's when we killing them, we
yeah,
going down the field. Brock could have had an even bigger day. He even dropped 2
sure.
passes that day. So it's like he could have had an even bigger one. But I know I had that question mark, and some fans had the question mark too. If he's not open, who are we going to? You know what I mean? And this kind of plays into that Jacoby Myers dispute that a lot of us were having. A lot of us, me, myself included, we love Jacoby, but we don't view him as, let's say, y'all view Terry McLaurin, right? Like, we don't view him like that. We think he's good, but he's like a number 2. So that's kind of our concern there. Where does Thornton, we don't know how he develops right now. His speed is nice, but his route running needs a little work. Tucker's the guy that's our kind of outlier. He's the outlier. Number 1 is the one that might have a big day, because I know y'all might have seen it. He played with y'all. Gino is described him as Santana Moss, right? That's how he described him. And
Oh,
honestly, he can kind of get to that. And there are points where he's open, but he doesn't really get looked at like that. He's the X factor, because he's the one that actually can outperform what we all think he is. And I think
mm-hmm,
personally he can do it. He has the speed, his route running's improved. It's just
mm-hmm.
about Gino finding him at this point. So number 1, Tucker is the guy I'll be looking at.
All right, so let's go to the backfield and let's talk about um
Yeah, I
Ashton
was waiting on
Genty,
this. I was waiting on this one.
right? Like, there's a player like, so Frankie Louisville would be one of the ones I would love to
Mm,
see them meet, but I don't know what's been going on with Oos these first 2 games, right? I don't
mm,
know what's been going on with Oos these first 2 games. But there's another player, like an unhurled guy, right?
okay.
In Jeremy Reeves, that like he plays like it's 98, 99, right? Like
Oh, I love it.
he
Okay.
comes up and we was joking about it. And like, he's the third safety, right? So you're not going to see him a lot. Right? He comes out
Okay.
there in packages, but he's not afraid. Like, if you look at our big hits
Uh-huh.
from training camp through now, it's going to be mostly 39, right?
Okay. Okay.
That's who it's going to be. But our thing was is that like he's going to hurt himself, right? Because he's a gunner. Like, he's an all pro special team, right? He's a gun that That's the attitude that he has, right?
Okay.
And he's been playing much better as far as the actual DB and not just the special teamer this offseason into training. He's been with us for like what 6-7 years. He ain't
Oh,
make the
okay,
team the
okay.
first
All
few
right, all right.
years. Then he got he's hitched and he's one of the best in the league. Then he made an all pro and all that type of thing. So I'm interested to see what that looks like if them two get to meet one on one and Will Hurst. Like we know Will Hurst brings it too.
Okay.
But his usage, right? Because the numbers, the numbers itself,
Mhm.
right? The numbers itself doesn't meet the aura, I guess, or I can't really think about it because you would think. I mean, and this goes with Travion and Omarion too, right? Like, I mean, he's getting more touches than them, right? And all three of these guys were supposed to be the best coming out last year. And they're going to have to do well, right? Because if not, the running back position is going to take a hit.
Oh yeah,
These guys don't perform,
100%.
and especially if you got the last guy picked got more yards than all of them, right? Like it's
Exactly.
going to take a hit.
Exactly.
So like, what is it with Jensen?
Honestly, this is the thing. It depends. Again, it depends who you ask, and I'm trying to choose my words carefully. Because for me, I was never on the train to try to get him, and it was never about the talent. It was more along the lines of like this offensive line was not ready to get no running back at 6. We weren't. You know what I mean? And with this talented of a class, you know, it didn't make no sense to me. Also, again, I call myself a running back connoisseur. I love running back play.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to talking about Barry Sanders and Adrian Peterson and LaDainian Tomlinson, we talking about upper room play now at this point. You feel what I'm saying? Okay. Which I never subscribed to the fact that he was that. I look at him more like Emmitt Smith. I look at him more like, you know,
I think he's one of the most overrated players ever.
And I look at him more like a more athletic Frank Gore. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who gonna wear down the defense, things of that nature. But that's just me. As far as his usage, I've been saying this on my own show, and I completely confirm this, and I completely concur with this. And this is just my own opinion. I believe that the coaching staff understands that this offensive line ain't that good. So we're not going to kill this man with no 20 plus carries right now and get him hurt. And because that's what we did with Josh Jacobs just 2 years ago. We damn near ran his ass into the ground. And that's why he decided to leave and say, I need to go somewhere else where I'm not getting killed. That's what's happening right now. This offensive line is not ready. It wasn't ready to get no running back at 6 anyway, but we took him. And now the coaches are saying, well, this offensive line is so bad run blocking, we cannot just send this man out here to get 25 plus carries if he's only averaging 3 yards per. You know what I mean? Like that don't make sense. So, you know, you'll see. And see, this is the show. Everybody, if you're a Raider fan, I love the Raiders. But he's not that good of a pass blocker either. You know what I mean? So it's like, of course, if you know ball, and I'm sure we all, you know it, everybody in your chat know it. If you're a running back and you can't pass block, they're going to take your ass out on third down. Right. It's just what's going to happen. It don't matter who you are or where you could be the first overall pick. If you can't pass block, you better be able to catch the ball and make 4 people miss. Because if you can't do that, then you're going to get your ass taken out. And that's what's happening here. You know what I mean? He's not that strong of a pass blocker at all. And that was one of my concerns with him coming out. If you're going to be a top 10 overall draft pick as a running back, you got to do X, Y, Z, all the way back to A, B, C, D.
Here come Kevin.
This is true. But, you know, if we averaging 2-3 yards a carry, it don't make sense. You know what I mean? It don't make sense. And we was down already 17-6 going into, you know, halftime or whatever last week. So it's like, I would love to run the ball. If we were running the ball at 5-6 yards a clip, I'd be like, hell yeah, give him the ball. Let him do what he does. But we're not doing that. Now, there was a point last week where we were running the ball pretty well. And it's kind of on the coaching staff too, where it's like, bro, you got to recognize when he has rhythm. You know what I mean? And give him the football. And right now, Chip is kind of being stubborn because Chip is used to I have two running backs. Both these motherfuckers gonna play. Both these motherfuckers are gonna get, 12, 15 carries, and that's just the way I do it. But it's like fan base and I mean, even everybody else, we clamoring to be like, nah, dog. When he has a rhythm, you got to leave him in because
For
he
sure.
needs 20 plus carries for him to do what he does.
Hmm. What do you think is going to be um the the X factor as far as and I know you mentioned Trey, but as far as like the offense, the defense, the player, what's going to be the thing that's going to put you all victorious in this game? What do you think? Do you have to spam something? Do you think uh, luck here and there? What do you think it's going to be?
Honestly, um, over the past over
That's
the
right,
past few
House.
weeks, yeah. Honestly, dog, and we just talked about him, but I honestly think that this week they're gonna try to feature him a little bit more. They're gonna try to feature Genty a little bit more. They're gonna want to get
Mhm.
him the football, especially in space. They're gonna want to. I know you just talked about Frankie Louvu, and all
Mhm.
the extra. They're gonna want to test that out in space. Now, I am one of those believers though. 1-on-1 against a linebacker, safety. I've seen him win most of them.
Oh
I
yeah.
ain't gonna lie
Oh
to
yeah.
you. I have seen him win most of that, whether it
It's
be with
absolutely
physicality.
translating from college, and that's when you see
Yeah.
running backs like him in college. That's the biggest question: is if
Hmm.
that's going to translate into these NFL bodies.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
absolutely.
I saw him, and one of my bigger questions. I was like, all right, man, because Monday, we got Derwin James. Derwin James, a
Mhm.
hitter. You know what I mean? He took that on the chin and he kept going. So
Mhm.
it's like I'm already good. I'm already there with him. He's gonna make some people miss. He's gonna do his thing, and we can get him some space. So that's the whole thing. But I'll say the X factor. We didn't have him last week, but we have him this week, and it's on the offensive line, and that's JPJ. That's Jackson Powers Johnson.
Mhm.
Um, he wasn't there last week against the Chargers, and it kind of showed because he's our teeth, man. Like he's our pit bull. When it comes to that aggressiveness, when it comes to find somebody to hit, he gonna do that. You know what I mean? Whether the coaches say, "Hey, because we facing Deron Payne this week, he gonna need to feel a little extra." You know what I mean? He's one of those
For
where
sure.
he's gonna do that. So having him back gives us that physicality, gives us that mindset that we need going into this type of game. So he gonna be the X factor for us.
So we can do some key matchups after this. But I'm gonna give you some time if you want to ask about the Commanders for some of the Raider fans
Yeah,
that's
for
in the
sure.
chat. Yeah.
So I did see your guys' pass blocking ranking, right? I did see the pass
Yeah.
blocking ranking. You guys were sitting somewhere at the low 25s, right? Or the low 20s. Um, Now you guys did just make a change. I saw the change being made. I saw
Yeah.
you tweet about it as well. How you think that's going to impact y'all? You think that's something that's going to work? You think that's something that I mean, you needed, or what's the deal with that?
Yeah, so like the thing with Allegretti and Wiley is they've been doing that the whole summer,
Okay.
right? They've been switching. Like even when you see the depth chart, it says or between
Uh,
those two, right? So I don't think just him coming in is going to be like, oh, we haven't been doing this. Like it's been a thing that they've been doing in practice and throughout the training camp, just not in the game. So they went to that move. Um, and yeah, man, like if you look at the numbers, they are horrible, right? They're really really bad, right? And we also went up against two of the best teams when it comes to pass rushers,
yeah. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
in the NFL, right? You got Brian Burns, right? Which I really think is just him, right? Like Kayvon Thibodeau is really not good unless Charles Leno is on the field, right? And the other kid, I forgot his name,
Abdul.
Abdul Carter, right?
Yeah.
He got a couple prep, but he really didn't do anything. Like he like I saw him, but I didn't really see him,
Okay.
right? And
Okay.
that's like the
Right.
first couple games. But at the same time, he did get some pressure, right? Dexter Lawrence was pretty much like if you watch like the Giants game, you watch the Giants game, and then you come back and you watch the Packers game, you're like, man, what happened, right? Because like all the numbers dipped because of how bad we were in the Packers game, right? When you think about
Okay.
the young tackle and Josh Connolly, right? He gave up two pressures and a sack week one, right? One of them was against Brian Burns, right?
Okay.
Because Cliff is really kind of trusting him and leaving him out there. He did the same thing last week with Micah and Gary and those guys, and it just
Okay.
didn't work out the way that it did the week before, right? And he had like 9 pressures, like 3 or 4
Okay.
sacks, something like that, some crazy number. And you can contribute that to him being a rookie. Because remember, he was left tackle his whole career at Oregon, but
Right.
then
Right.
the senior senior bowl is when they moved him to right tackle because they probably knew some teams was going to move him to right tackle. He ended up getting offensive player of the week. So, but again, he's been at right tackle all through all season program, training camp, and all. But still, like you need real live snaps, right? So, like it was like he got hey, he got baptized, right? Welcome,
Okay.
welcome to the NFL. And then Cliff wasn't giving him any help, right? He just for some reason just was not giving him any chip help or anything like that. Where you got somebody like Michael Parsons, Gary, you got some guys flying around like that. Everybody gets chip help. Unless you're Lane Johnson or some of the other
Yeah.
2 or 3 elite tackles, you're going to get help against Michael Parsons, right? So
Yeah.
that was a big thing with our fan base this week is if we should go to Wiley at right tackle, which I thought was a horrible idea. Like you said, you've been following my tweets, you've been seeing how against that I've been. So I think when it comes to that, you really just got to kind of look at how the game plan is going to be with Max. Because one thing about Max, I think he's very skilled. I think he's one of the best, but he doesn't have the speed
That's
that
true.
Burns and Micah has, right? But he has a lot of technique. He uses his hands well and all that different things
Yeah.
like that. So he's still going to be a problem. But the speed thing, where Conley is kind of struggling, and it's funny because in college he struggled more against strength, against muscle and not speed. But
Right.
NFL he's struggling against speeds, and so we just got to see what that looks like. But hopefully, right, Cliff send some help, some
That's what I
chip.
was
I mean,
going to
we
ask you.
chipped a little, but just not enough.
That's what I was going to ask you. Now, these first 2 weeks, Max has seen nothing but double and triple teams, nothing but. And there's some people say he's not doing anything. When you watch him, dog, like Max is still Max. Do you think you guys will chip over there? Because I
Most
will say
definitely.
this.
I mean, I thought we was going to chip last week and we didn't. So I don't.
Yeah, if
Like,
you don't,
but I absolutely think we will, though.
yeah,
I
if you
absolutely
don't,
think we will.
y'all will see a lot of 98. If you don't, I will say that because right
Yeah,
now
for sure.
he do. I will say this: you are right about the speed factor because we all are honest with ourselves. I mean, athletically, he's not Brian Burns. He's not Micah Parsons. You know what I mean? We know that, but it looked like this year he done slimmed down a little bit. He looked a little quicker. He looked like he's quick off this ball, dog. Like he's always been quick off the football as far
Oh
as
yeah,
Max.
the first step is crazy.
But this first step this year look a little different to me. He look a little slimmer. So, for sure, he's gonna try to be a factor, especially against a rookie. He's definitely gonna try to eat this week. So hopefully, I mean, if y'all do chip, then that would be the game plan right there. But Mariota's in, right? I know Mariota's in this week. What you feeling as far as the game plan? You think it's gonna be same old? I mean, he had a nice game last year when he came in. He had a nice little streak.
Yeah. He had a couple of them. I mean,
So I mean, is it the same game plan like if Jaden was in and y'all
I
gonna
think
go like
so,
that?
right? Like I don't think it changes much, right? Because no, they're not the same player, of course, but they all can kind of do the same things, right? So you don't have to change the whole playbook for another quarterback to come in, right? Because we saw last year, I think he had, I want to say, I had it up too. We had like 60 some rushing yards or something like that. I had it somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. So like he can still do that, but at the same time, right? Like I mean, he was hurt all off season last year in training camp and this year with the whole shin, the shin ankle Achilles thing, right? So we got to see what that looks like. But like he's a backup, right? And the second most important position on the team is the backup quarterback, right? So we're paying you $9 million to play a couple games, 1 or 2 games, and to give it your all, right? So I'm absolutely expecting him to do that. I think he sees the defenses better than Jaden, right?
Okay.
So because he's a veteran, he needs pretty much seen everything. So I think that part of the offense will kind of flow a little bit better instead of like getting into a groove with Jaden. So like I have confidence in him. right? Like, I'm not going out here and saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna like Mariota's gonna dominate, right? You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? But at the same time, like, I mean, from what we know from what he did last year, and been in the offense for 2 years, I absolutely think he can run the offense and be successful in it. But he can't go out there and throw the ball 42 times. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So
And see that's kind of that's where I was going because if you guys do get into a situation where you have to throw the ball and you guys have to throw the ball to get up, right? Because that's
yeah.
really where teams have kind of got us so far. Again,
Mhm.
we've been pretty good against the run. We really nice. But as far as the pass, that's where teams have been hitting us. You know what I mean? We've had lapses. So if you guys, what's your confidence level in Mariota if you guys do have to air it out? It becomes like a Geno versus Mariota thing, or you guys just have to air it out, you know what I mean, to win the game.
I mean, it is what it is, right? Like we definitely don't want to go there, right? But I
Yeah.
absolutely think he will. I think he'll spam Terry. I think he'll definitely test the cornerbacks, right? And not so much test them because he's just a great quarterback, but just because he's a backup quarterback that ain't really got too much to lose, right? It's not going to be a
Right.
quarterback controversy if you go out here and throw 400 yards. Like he knows that, right? You
True.
know what I'm saying?
True.
So, Jaden who actually practiced today, he was limited, so more than likely he probably going to be back next week. Maybe that's
Mhm.
against the Falcons. Maybe not. It's another revenge game for
Right.
Mariota, right? So like he ain't really got nothing to lose, and them are the ones that you should fear the most, right? The ones that ain't
Yeah.
got nothing to lose because they gonna test it. They gonna throw it up, right? And they're gonna throw it in double coverage, right?
Yep.
He's gonna test Curry being the best contested catcher in the last 5 years. All right, let's see if you still got it. Let's see if the $30 million man still got it, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing that he's going to do. Like Jaden, he's very protective of the football, right? If it looks funny, he's gonna go away from it. Mariota, nah, not so much. He's gonna have those especially Terry to
Yeah.
try it for sure.
Now, as a Raider fan, I will tell you, hearing y'all talk about Jaden makes us salty. It definitely makes us salty. We we definitely wanted him, dog. He
Yeah,
from
I
my
know.
neck of the woods too,
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
He was our guy last year, but y'all
For
got
sure.
one, man. Y'all definitely got one. So
Yeah,
we
for
are
sure.
definitely relieved, right, that we didn't have to play Jaden. But on the defensive side of football, man, I mean, where are your stars at, man? I mean, I know I said I think we're going to be trying to feature Ashton Genty. I mean, what do you think the game plan to be this week?
Yeah, so like hopefully U's show up. Like, right? I think what is it, Mojo or what was that from the Monstars? Like Space
Yeah,
Jam.
yeah,
Like
the
they like
mojo.
it's gone. Like I don't know what happened to it. So hopefully he gets it back, right? He's
Okay,
an all pro top 100 player. Of course, you got Bobby. He's not good in coverage. He wasn't good in coverage last year. But if he can see it pre-snap in a running game, he's still one of the best in the league, right? He's going to be
okay,
able to come downhill. But in coverage, no, not so much. So we talked
interesting.
about the cornerbacks. Like Will Harris is kind of like a chin replacement that can probably play a little more coverage as far as in the sliding if he needed to. So that's probably like a replica. Then you got Quan Martin. He's getting better every year. I'd rather have him in the box because he's just a
Okay,
missile. Like he just wants to hit. Like he plays the body more than the ball, and that can be an issue when he's back at free safety. But our safeties are interchangeable. Sometimes Harris
okay,
might be back there, sometimes he might be back there. So yeah, man. So it's not. I mean, and then like the young boy, Mikey, right? They sent
Sanderson. Yeah,
they sending him a little bit more. Like he was one of the best blitzing slots in college football. So I'm looking to see maybe more of that, especially with Geno. Because I know Geno will take off, right? Like I know he'll
yeah,
he'll take off and he'll run or whatever. But I'm thinking we rather have him do that than throw the ball 20, 30 yards down the field. So
yeah.
it's going to be interesting. So up front, we still got Payne. He's having a phenomenal year, contract
That's my
Payne.
guy right there,
Like
man. That's
that's when he shows up, contract time. Right, he
my
did it
guy.
once before,
Contract.
and he's doing it now. Right, contract Payne is showing up. Javon Kinlaw, which had a lot of controversy how much money we paid. I mean, he's playing on a Pro Bowl, All Pro type level these first couple games.
Really? Okay, okay.
He's really balling out. He's really like a force up front. Our running game is so much better because of him. Wise was a big loss. He's out for the year as far as the edge setter. We brought back Preston Smith. I don't think he's going to play that much. Von Miller, you might see him 20, 25 snaps. only on passing downs.
Yeah, what type
Jacob
of Von
Martin.
Miller he look like?
Yeah, I mean, he's granddad Von Miller, right? Like
Okay,
he's what I'm saying, like the first game he got a few pressures. I think he got one last week. So if you get him like 20, 25 snaps, but if you get up and you give him some third and nines, he's putting pressure on the quarterback, right? So like
okay,
he still has that part, but you just got to spread it out for him, right?
got you.
That's probably why we brought in Preston Smith. Like we got a couple young guys on the roster too that we put up from the practice squad that's been with the team for a little bit because we don't want them out there more than 20 snaps. We don't want you out there on third and three, none of that, right? Because that's what ended up
Yeah,
happening last year with I forgot his name. We called him number 6. He went back to Dallas, but because he got caught up because he had a lot of injuries up front. Dorrance
got you.
Armstrong is playing out of his mind, right?
Okay,
He's starting to hit his stride. What he did last year, then he got injured, and it took him a while to get back into the playoffs. But like he's up there, like he's up there with pressures and sacks. I think he got like 2 or 3. He's up there with pressures with Micah and all of those guys. So he is like playing some good football, getting some pressure up front. But like it is like we still kind of waiting. Like Louisville is supposed to really be that guy that's like that offenses is going to have to kind of prepare for. I'm sure they still are just because of his reputation, but he just hasn't really been in these last couple years. I mean, last couple games, and like those aren't they are playing well. I think Kinlaw might be game playing against a little bit, might double them up front, but outside of that, bro, like we don't have nobody like Max that is going to require double teams and making sure we chipping and all that stuff. Unless you got some real weak tackles, but we thought we had that last week with Green Bay, and they was
yeah.
going deep in their pocket. And we couldn't take advantage of it. So
Our left
Dante
tackle is
Fowler,
good.
yeah, that's his name, number 6.
Oh, Fowler. Okay, Fowler. Yeah, our left tackle is Pro Bowl level. I mean, Colton Miller is the guy,
Yeah,
but
the Kevin Wright. If Von get there, your quarterback held on the
I
ball.
saw that.
Cover shot.
Yeah,
There you go.
our tackles are okay. Our right tackle is where you can get us. Left tackle's a Pro Bowler, so I mean, I'm straight with him. But our offensive line is all right. It does kind of scare me that you're talking about Kinlaw. It scares me
Yeah.
because I absolutely cannot stand our left guard. I can't stand him, dog. Like I'm damn near about to make a countdown on my show to how many games we have left with this dude. I ain't gonna cap to you, bro. Like I am so ready. So hearing that already scares me because I know like our left guard struggles with power guys immediately. If he's a power guy, dog, like you gonna get pressure, you gonna be able to get in the backfield.
And
That's
they
just what it
line
is.
up like him and Payne and kind of Newton. They line up from 0 to 5 both sides of the ball.
See, yeah,
So
and
they interchange throughout the game.
that's where you can have us. Now,
Mm-hmm.
JPJ, he right guard. So, he holds that down over there. Our center's okay. But that left guard, man, you mark my words. You probably gonna see some plays made over there. I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. But other than that, man, I think, I think it's gonna be a good game, though. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, man. So I'm excited. So that's about it, man. I don't know if you want to do a prediction. I do have mine. I can put mine out there. I
Yeah, we can
usually
definitely do it.
I do a I can't put mine out until it's posted, but they did post it earlier, so I can put mine out there.
Okay.
Um and I was kind of on the verge of because I put mine in even before the Jade news because I figured that he wasn't going to play. Um Last year was a little different, right? But this year, going into week 3, he's been taking a lot of hits. He's been touched a lot.
Okay.
And I think they're going to really, especially with his last year was his rib, right? Like, but when you mess with them legs, like you got to be extremely
That's
careful.
the money right there. Yeah, that's
Right,
the money.
yeah, you got to be extremely careful. So I'm not surprised at all. And I think Mariota can put some points up. But I'll go first. I have a 17-10. I have a
Okay.
17-10.
Y'all 17-10.
Yep.
I'm around that same juncture, man. But I think we get some tubs, man. I think Gino settles down a little bit, and we get right. So I'm sitting somewhere. I'm at 21-13, man.
Okay. I ain't
I'm
mad
at
at it.
21-13, yeah.
I ain't mad at it. I think that's about it, man. Like, go ahead and put your I don't know if well, I do got one. I don't know if you know Wit. I got Wit here. But
Hey,
there
go ahead.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say like I don't really have too many Raider fans, I know. But a lot of them are here. Somebody might see it. So just let everybody know where they can come find you out. Just because like after the game we put 30 something up, they can find you.
I'll say, you know, hey, even if you're not a Raider fan, I understand. My guy Pharaoh, what's going on with you, man? I saw, you know, I can understand why y'all neck of the woods ain't Raider fans. I saw the chat earlier. You know, we saw y'all in the bowl. You know, it's before my time, but we did see y'all in the bowl, so I would understand. But hey, look, if you're just trying to talk ball, you know what I mean? Maybe just talk NFL stuff too. I'm gonna start doing a channel or just a little bit of shows where I'm just talking about the league, you know me in general. You feel what I'm saying? But if you're looking for Raider content, man, I try not to fluff it with my content. You know what I mean? I try to be as real as possible when it comes to the team. I can't be shaking the pom-poms for every move, everything like that. So if y'all just looking for real content, man, tap in. I'm trying to hit 3K. It's my third season doing podcasting. So that'll be straight for me. So anybody that can help me out with that is much appreciated, man. But hey, shout out to my guy Deuce, man. Dope show for sure, man.
Yeah,
after this, good luck to y'all, because I mess with Jaden. But after this,
for sure. I like Genty and Black and Silver, like especially to the Black community, right? Like the Black and Silver always has a place.
Oh yeah,
in our hearts, you know, as far as the Black community. So for sure, man. Yeah, just win, baby. Right?
Oh, always, bro. That's.
I mean, after Sunday, like
after Sunday for sure. You know, 5:15. That's what you want. That's what you want to say. But for me, I know I'm looking to have a good Monday. But you know, like you said, bro, the colors, man. When we start winning and really doing what we're supposed to do, which is a step here. You know what I mean? This is a game where I'm looking to see how we bounce back because we had a terrible showing as well. You know what I mean? We got veterans on our squad, so I want to see what we look like. But when we start winning, bro, I guarantee you're gonna see a lot of these colors out in full force for sure.
Yeah, for sure, and it should be. That's the same thing with us. We have these teams that carry the NFL for so long. Once they start getting better, it's better for the NFL, right? Like
all the way,
all over the world. Black and silver, burgundy, and gold. And the NFL is just a much better. But yeah, man, Rundown, I appreciate you, man, for coming through, man. I appreciate your time, and everyone that's in the chat. Raider Nation, appreciate you for pulling up. Commanders, y'all know what it is, raise hell. We know your time is very valuable for you to spend it with us. We absolutely appreciate it. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart,